Model fans, welcome back to Watson's Models. I am continuing with the Centurion Mark V update, and I'm starting to work on the basic issue items, you know, the shovels, the sledgehammer, all that kind of stuff, and working on the track and the fuel can mounting system on the back of the turret, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you where I'm at so far. All right. So, just to kind of kick things off, I used some gunmetal for the M1919 and the machine gun that's coming out of here, and then used the black panel line accent color on there to kind of get into some of the recesses. The tow cable has turned out really cool. Now, these are just base colors and stuff, and I'm doing a little pre-shading. And I'll show you what colors I used for this. But that cable started out as a copper cable. All right. And it is routed all the way around. There's two of them. And here you can see it's gone in between the pickaxe handles. So the pictures that I saw online, they were, if you know, some of the cables were nice and clean, but I did notice that the little bundle straps or whatever that was holding these cables together were painted the same color as the vehicle. So I went ahead and did that, at least with the references that I saw. I used some Dirty Down for the exhaust. This is about the most realistic stuff you can get. It's still drying on this side, and I'll give you an idea here of the rust effect that gives. This is the product right here. It's called Rust. All right, water soluble paint, Dirty Down, high matte, semi-permanent. So it's important. The stuff in here settles. You see a little BB in there? All right, you've got to keep this stuff shook up. Otherwise, the pigment will settle and just get super thick on the bottom. Then it won't work. So make sure that you got it nice and loose and mixed in order to get this effect. And so when this dries, you can dab more on to get a different rust effect or whatever, make it deeper or whatever, but I kind of like the way it looks. Definitely looks weathered. So anyways, the cable, the wood handles and stuff are painted, and I'm just starting to do some light shadow work in some of the some of the corners and creases using the panel liner. Now the track system here, remember I told you the hooks go up, not down like the directions show. And then you're going to have to trim a little bit of track material so you can get that track up there and run a pin through it. All right, so that track is sitting in there. Here I have it's actually a German, it's a 3D printed German can that I used a US olive drab color. I'll show you the colors when I mess with it. Got the cable on, got the cable painted in there for combo cable. But yeah, this is these little details are starting to make this tank look sharp. And I will be dry brushing it, but I'm not going to overdo it. I am not one of those guys that like to over chip and over weather things. I want a good motor pool appearance, and that's what I'm going for. So a lot more details to work on. We still have decals to put on it, and the decal that'll go on here, there's a star that goes here, and this sort of represents one of the Centurions that were in the Korean War, is what I'm going for. So I hope you like the progress so far, and get out there and work on your RC colors paint. I used tonight. I already showed you the dirty down. Go get you some of this stuff. They also have moss, and there's another color that I have that you can use for other types of models, dioramas. Okay, gunmetal that we use for the weapons. This is the wood color, 71077, that I use on the wood. Once that dried, I got a rough brush and put on this wood grain transparent, 70828. Okay, with just a crappy little brush. And you kind of get that on there, and it acts like a wood grain effect. All right, and then when that's all dry, I go ahead and hit it with some washes and stuff. And it just kind of, you know, from 10 feet, it looks like wood. All right, the cable was painted with this metallic gray. And that's what I used for the cable here. Around the wood, I also gave it a coat of this accent color. And then we start hitting all the corners with this to get into the nooks and crannies and creating some shadows. Again, bronze green, 70897 is the overall color of the vehicle. When we start getting decals on it, it will definitely look lighter. And when we start dry brushing it, a lot of these highlights will pop, and it'll just kind of give it a lighter feel, but it's definitely going to have some depth. So I hope you find that interesting. All right. It's so much fun. Yeah.